distressing news. First of all, that stampede which killed so many in Indonesia, the football ground. Then came the news about a man going into a preschool and killing so many kids and others in Thailand. And this morning we heard in our own neighborhood in Maryland, someone drove a car into a house and they killed the occupant and then went fled with the child. So many killing stories. As these distressing such stories come into media, we also hear of the government's plan to bring the children who are in camps in Syria, children of ISIS fighters, their children and their family. And this news of repatriation of these people raised some eyebrows. I'd like to reflect on this using the gospel we just now proclaimed. I think it is worth doing so. Here in this gospel, Jesus was entering Samaria, that's when it happens. The same gospel little earlier gives a little bit of background to this story. When he was to start his journey, and the gospel puts it as resolutely towards Jerusalem, that means it's a very definite, purposeful journey that was to sacrifice his life on the cross at Jerusalem for the salvation of everyone. So, as he was about to travel, he sent messengers ahead to prepare his way. When the Samaritans heard that Jesus is going to Jerusalem, the Jewish territory, the people who hate them, Samaritans said, no way, we want to entertain this journey. So they refused to host Jesus' disciples. That's because of the animosity between Samaritans and the Jews. So that's the background. With this background, Jesus comes to the boundary, the border town or border village, and 10 people come requesting to heal them, 10 lepers. That means with the leprosy, they are already outcast. They need to be cured of that to be reintroduced or re-included in Judaistic community, religiously as well as socially. So there, Jesus did not ask them, now how many of you are Samaritans, how many are Jews? He told all of them, it's all right, just go and show yourself to the priest in Jerusalem, a standard practice for anyone who is to be reintroduced or re-included into the religion. And as they went, one of them realized that he is cured, and he came back. But before that, what I wanted to say is this. Jesus, in spite of knowing the hostility of the Samaritans, did not discriminate against them when it came to offering the salvation and the cure. So if that is anything for us to follow by, we may not agree with many of those things these people do, yet there is no need to discriminate against them when it comes to showing mercy, compassion, and love. I may say a couple more things about Samaritans again. Jesus did not, by doing this, approved the Samaritan interpretation of religion. They did not accept all the books of Bible. They had their own way of doing things, and they did not go to Jerusalem temple, which was the seat of religion for Jesus and the Jews. For Samaritans, it was Mount Gerizim. He didn't approve of any of this, yet it was okay for him to show mercy, compassion, and his saving touch to the Samaritans. So, though it is hard, we should be following this example from Jesus. And there is more in this story as lesson for us. Though all 10 were healed, 9 of them were happy to just go and meet with the priest in Jerusalem and be reintroduced to the status they had before. Whereas the Samaritan preferred Jesus over the priest in Jerusalem. The Samaritan realized God being with him. Just the Samaritan, the foreigner, felt the need to thank God and praise him for this very special healing or gift, the grace he received. Now think about many and varied gifts we receive, many times of blessing we have in our time. It could be a great education or financial benefits or great friends, good health, or whatever. So many good things come our way. We may thank the human agents who have helped us to get to there or receive those gifts. That is quite natural. And most times we could be just leaving our thanksgiving at that level. But, and we forget to think that ultimately it is God and God's grace that has come to us. So we always acknowledge God's healing hand in all these experiences, and do we turn to God to thank him, or rather just leave to the other human agents? It's something worth thinking about. God bless.